Welcome to the MCAP Grade 6 Mathematics Practice Test Solutions. All right, so we are going to go through the solutions here, starting with the first section. And the first section is non-calculators. So I don't have a calculator. I'm going to be Googling stuff. Let's go. What is the value of 6,798 divided by 49? I don't want to do this problem any more than you, but we are going to. And maybe we can take advantage of the multiple choice here, seeing as this is a time test. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down my multiples of 49. So 49, then 98. 98 plus 49, what's that? 7 and 147. Add 49 to that. What do you get? 6. That 147 and the 4. So it's 889. 196. Okay, let's see if that'll serve us. So 49 goes into 63 one time. Okay, and then multiply. 1 times 49 is 49. Subtract. All right, going to subtract here. 13 minus 9 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. 147. Hey, that's exact. So that's going to be 3. So 49 goes into 7 3 times. 3 times 49 is 147. So 0. Bring down the 9. How many times does 49 go into 9? And that would be 0 times. So now we have to bring down another number, 8. How many times does 49 go into 98? 2 times. So the answer is B. And of course, we can always check our answer by multiplying. So there's no reason to get that one wrong. Easy check. That wasn't so bad. What is the value of the following expression? All right, order of operations. Know them, use them, and PEMDAS, right? Okay, so we're going to start. We don't have any parentheses, but we have exponents. So let's start out with that. Let's do 9 squared is 81. Plus 5 times 2 minus, 1 cubed is 1. 2 to the 4th is 16. I know that. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. It's not 8. It's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So minus 6. Notice I did my exponents, and that was it. I rewrote everything. I just did the exponents. Now, multiplication and division are together from left to right, but there's no division, just multiplication. So let me circle this. I'm going to multiply that and rewrite it. 81 plus 10 minus 1 over 16 minus 6. And so that the top and the bottom are kind of like a parenthesis in that we're going to do the calculations on top first and bottom first before we divide. So what's 81 plus 10 is 91, minus 1 is 90. And then 16 minus 6 is 10. And 90 divided by 10 is 9. Cross off the zeros. So the answer, 9. Not too bad. Okay. Number 3. Points A, B, C, and D are plotted on the number line shown. There we are. Negatives, positives. Those are integers. No decimals. Yeah, so that's nice. Which point represents the value? This is the absolute value. That's what that is. What is the absolute value of 3? The absolute value of 3 is 3. And also the absolute value of -3 is 3. The absolute value is the distance from 0. Somewhere along the line, people make it more complicated, but 6th grade, it's the distance from 0. Okay, so there are two answers. There are two numbers that have the absolute value of 3. So A and D. But which point represents the absolute value of 3? Well, the absolute value of 3 is not -3. The absolute value of 3 equals 3. So the answer is D. Although it is tricky. And that's because some people think the absolute value is the opposite. So a lot of people know the absolute value of -4 is 4, but then they might think the absolute value of 4 is -4. But that is wrong. The absolute value of 4 is 4. The absolute value of -4 is also 4. The answer to absolute values are positive. Moving on, all of the numbers that do not exceed 15, all right, everything less than 15 will be graphed on a number line. Which statement best describes the graph of the numbers? Well, hey, let's draw a picture. So here's my line. All of the numbers that do not exceed 15. So let me put 15 over here. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, la, la, la. Do I have to stop? I don't have to stop, right? When I get to 0, do I have to stop? There's nothing that says I have to stop when I get to 0. I think that this goes on forever to the left. So that would be array. I see that word ray there. An array goes on forever in one direction. The graph will be array, yes, that starts at 14. No, start at 15. The graph will be array that starts at 15, I like it, and points left. The graph will include the endpoint of the array. Maybe so, maybe so. The graph will be array that starts at 15 and points right? No. The graph will be array that starts at 16? No. It's B. There you go. What is the value of the decimals? Okay, so what mistake do people make with decimals? Do you know? Let me write out the problem while you think about it. The mistake is that they don't line up the decimals. 17. So we have to make sure the decimal points are in the same spot when we're adding and subtracting. When we're multiplying and dividing, it's different. Adding and subtracting, line up decimals. For add, subtract, and put a 0. Insert a 0 there, and then now it's easy, right? 1 take away 0 is 1. Okay. 16 minus 9 is 7. 2. All this carrying is 8. That's it. So 8.271. And multiple choice. Okay. Melvin and Roberto played football on 2 different teams last season. Melvin's teams won W games, a letter. Roberto's teams won 3 fewer than Melvin's. Would that be W minus 3? Which expression can be used to represent the number of games Roberto's team? Wow, I got it. W minus 3. Because 3 fewer means we're going to subtract 3. if Roberto won, if the one guy, Melvin, won 9 games, Roberto won 3 fewer, that would be 6. 9 minus 3. All right. A jar contains some marbles that are either white or red. The ratio of the number of white marbles to the number of red marbles is 2 to 3. So let's write that down like this. White to red, 2 to 3. And so that's the ratio. But the number of marbles actually can just be, an equivalent fraction. So would 6 to 9, would that be equivalent? Can we multiply by the same number from our ratio and get to 6 and 9? So 2 times 3 is 6 times, so it works. How about 12 and 13? No, that's not gonna work. 14 and 21, does that work? 14, 21, so 2 to 14, that multiplied by 7. Okay. 14 and 21, 22 and 33. Does that work? I think so. I think if I multiply 2 by 11, I get 22, and 3 by 11, I get 33. So I just keep writing the ratio and then asking myself, what do I multiply by to get from 2 to 36? I think I multiply by 18. 18 times 2 is 36. Is 18 times 3? What is 18 times 3? 3 times, no, doesn't work. So A, C, and D. So that's how I do it. All right, so this is just meant to help you. And then, of course, if you have any questions, you just ask. But you should have tried these problems, and now, you're watching the video and then seeing if you agree. And if you don't, and if something doesn't make sense, then you just ask. An artist is creating several pieces of pottery. He has 10 4/5 pounds of clay, okay? And he will use, subtract, to create each piece, divide. If he was going to use a total amount, that would be subtraction. But if he's using 7/10 for each, that's division. That's division. So we're going to take 10 4/5 and we're going to divide it by 7/10. So let's take this 10 4/5 and make it into an improper fraction. So 10 times 5 is 50, plus 4 is 54. So this is 54 over 5 divided by 7 over 10. Flip and multiply. 54 over 5 times 10 over 7. And let's cross cancel. That's 1, 2, and 54 and 7, that's nothing. So, but now we can multiply across. So we're going to get 7 on the bottom, and 54 times 2 is 108. 7 going to 108? Who would know? 7 goes into 10 one time. And 7 goes into 38 5 times, with a remainder of 3. So that means that he can create 15 pieces of pottery, and then I'll have a little bit of clay left over. That was a fun problem. Okay, so we want to know our keywords for, are we subtracting? Are we dividing? Are we multiplying? Are we adding? That is key. An expression is shown, 56 plus 91. All right. which expression is equivalent to the given expression and is written using the greatest common factor of the two numbers in the expression. All right, so the greatest common factor is the GCF. And there's a lot of ways to think about it, but I think about it like this. The largest number you can divide by. And I think it, especially since it's multiple choice, just instead of breaking these numbers down into their prime factors and multiplying and things like that, let's just look at these numbers here and see which number can we divide both 56 and 91 by. So let's start with the biggest one, 13. Can you divide, what are the 13, 26, 39, plus 13 is 2, 4, 52. Oh, 52. So no, 13 goes into 52. It does not go into 56. 13 is not a GCF. 7 though. 7 goes into 56 8 times. 7 times 8 equals 56. Is 7 times 13 91? That's what this says. Let's do it. I think it is. 21, 91. So the answer is 7. 7 is the biggest number that you can divide both 56 and 91 by. 10. Which expressions are equivalent to 4x plus 16? Okay, so we got the algebraic expressions where we combine like terms or use the distributive property, right? So in this first one, what we could do is we can simplify each of these and see which ones equal 4x plus 16. So in A, we can add the two x's together. 2 plus 2 is 4. We can also add the 8's together. 8 plus 8 is 16. So yes, A is equivalent to 4x plus 16. And then in B, we can distribute the 2x. 2x times 2 is 4x. 2x times 8. See, that's 16x. So B is not equivalent because that extra x. All right, how about C? C doesn't have any numbers without an x, any terms without an x, so that's not. But D, where we distribute the 4, 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 4 is 16. So D is equivalent. And then how about this one? 4x times 1 is 4x. And 4x, oh, we're going to get 16x again. Sorry, you're not. So that's how we do that. We just simplify all of them and see which ones match. 11. Describe how the numbers -7 and 1/2 and -7 would be positioned relative to each other on a horizontal number line. All right, so that wording is kind of like verbose there, but I mean a little. But hey, let's draw a picture. So here's 0. This is 1, this is -1. So over here somewhere is -7. So the question is, where is -7.5? Is it here or is it here? It's here. The negatives are opposite of what you think they would be, right? So this is -7. This would be -6. So that is really important. So we want to see the one that says -7 and 1/2 is to the left of -7. The number -7.5 would be, hey, that's exactly what it says. All right. Oh my, because -7 and 1/2 is less than -7, yes. Not because it's greater. It would be only greater if they were positives, it would be greater. and then the others stay to the right. So, all right, moving right along. Point A is located at 6,3 in the coordinate plane. Point B is located 5 units below point A. All right, so hey, in the coordinate plane, the first number is a x, the second number is a y. So let's go over 6 on the x-axis and then up 3. And that is the point. We don't make a point here. We go over and up before we make our point. And that is the point A, and it's at 6,3. Point B is located 5 units below. So let's just go to point A, and we'll go 5 units down. So there's 3 units down. 2 more would make 5. There's point B, 5 units below A. And so what coordinate is it? It's 6, -2. And how could I make sure that's correct? Because 5 units below means I'm subtracting 5. Oh my, you know, no integers, but now you do. 3 minus 5 is -2. All right. And 13 is that 14, and then you stop. All right, so 13 histograms skewed. Okay, so there's 3 shapes. There's 3 shapes of histograms. There is, if we draw a line and it goes up on the right side, this is called skew left. And then if there's a tail on the right side, it's called skew right. And if there's a lump in the middle, that's called symmetrical. So I think of skew as a tail on the left. You know, you could be confused, like what? Wait, what's on the left? So just think, if you see skew, think tail. Where's the tail? Tail's on the left, skew left. So where's the tail for this guy? If we draw a little smooth curve over the top, the tail's on the right side. This is skew right. This guy, one second. So this guy is symmetrical because if we draw a curve, then the peak is in the middle. So this goes down to the left side, so it's skew left. So what do they want to know again? Oh, skewed left, that's C. That's C. But I don't always, I really should read the question first, but I look at the question and I think, what topic does this represent? And then, yeah, I just want to tell you about it. So that's why I'm not reading the question so closely before I get the answer. So anyway, D is symmetrical. And the last one, we are multiplying decimals. Do you know how to multiply decimals? What we do is we count the numbers after the decimal. So there's three numbers after decimals. So we're going to forget about the decimals. When we get our answer, we're going to put a decimal point three spaces into the number. But first, I'm just going to forget there was even any decimals, and I'm going to do the problem 437 times 25. So 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Put a 0 here. Do not forget that 0. 2 times 7 is 14. 4. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 2 times 4 is 8. And we add those together. That's 5, 12, that's 9, and that's 10. And so I want to put that decimal 3 spaces in. So 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 10.925. And there I see it. So notice how I didn't even look at the answer choices, did the problem, and then I look for the answer choices. If I don't see it, then I start looking for a mistake I might have made. And I think that's the best way to do these multiple choice math problems. I could be wrong. Sometimes I look at the multiple choice, but that's in general what I do. All right, let's stop the video and we'll restart for section 2.